There's actually an incredible amount that we've done in the last 7 weeks. The boat has been in complete pieces. The mast has been out, the foil's been out, the keel's been off, the rudders have been off. The guys have worked so hard, and I'm going to run you through some of the things that we've done, some of the changes. So first of all, up on the bow here, so we've got 3 new sails that arrived last week, and they are my final Vendée off-wind sails. And the main difference there is we have 2 sails that fly from the end of the bowsprit, but then there's a 3rd sail which is new for me, which is actually going to fly from the stem head here. So that's this fitting here. And the reason for that is it's going to be a sail that I use in big breeze in the Southern Ocean, and bringing it closer in off the bowsprit into the footprint of the boat hopefully should stop the boat from nosediving so much. But the other thing is that if I break the bowsprit, I still have a large sail that I can fly from here, so I can keep speed up. So it's kind of, we're always thinking about resilience, we're thinking about belt and braces. So during the refit, we just kind of set up this tack line system here. So you can see I've got 2 furlers, and basically if I want to fly a sail off here, then I move one of these furlers from the end of the bowsprit and put it onto this saddle here. Okay, moving back this way. So something you can't see under here is that we have put a new cable into our structural forestay for the J2. So these cables, they have a lifespan. So when they are manufactured, they have so many hours of use or so many years before you have to change them. And so ours was up to its limit, and we needed to change it before the Vendée Globe, so that's been changed. Back here you can see here's one of our new sails, so that's the fractional 0, that's the one that's going to fly off the bowsprit there. Moving back this way, so this is a new addition, this halyard. This is the storm jib halyard. Now before, if I wanted to fly the storm jib, I had to take the sail off the J3. So I would have been on this sail already, the J3, and I had to take this sail down and then put the storm jib up on there. And now we've got a dedicated halyard just for the storm jib. And the benefit of that is that it means we also have, if we break the J3 halyard, we also have the belt and braces approach of another way of pulling that section of the mast forward to make sure the mast doesn't invert the wrong way when we're downwind. So a couple of little details here. You see all these beautiful coloured loops. We've just added an extra one on each side. When I'm not using my halyards, I have them on the side of the mast here, and it's really important that I am methodical about how these halyards go away, because otherwise they can get crossed over each other at the top of the mast, and especially in the dark you just end up with a total and utter nightmare. So I always put the smaller halyards, the lower down halyards go at the front, and the higher up halyards go at the back, and I've got that option on each side. And so long as every halyard always goes back onto the right loop, I should never be in trouble. Down here we've just done a little bit of work here, so you can probably see there's a bit of fresh paint. So this rope here, this is mast rotation, so it pulls our wing mast from side to side, and over time the inserts through the deck here had just started to fracture, and so we've had to cut this bit in and put new structural inserts inside the deck so that this has another lease of life. Over here on the foils, now you might just pick up there a black line down the edge of the foil. So that's the trailing edge of the foil. So our foils have been sanded and painted so they're super smooth. Smooth equals fast. And then the trailing edge of the foil has been shaped, and that should reduce the noise, because before the foils were really howling a lot, and that was to do with the shape of the foil and the water interacting with that blunt edge. And now they've been shaped, it's really quietened the foils down, which is very nice for me. One thing we haven't managed to do yet is replace this window. Turns out it's quite a hard job to do, but hopefully we should have this done before the start of the Vendée. So on the back of the boat here, you can see we have 3 new solar panels. Again, we're always thinking about belt and braces when we approach the Vendée, and generating power is really important because the boat sails on autopilot all the time. I've got instruments running all the time, and so I need to be able to generate power. If I'm not able to generate power, then my race is over. We have 3 means of generating power. We have the alternator on the engine. We have hydro generators that use the motion of the boat through the water to turn turbines effectively inside the boat and generate power. And then solar panels, and we've just boosted our solar capability here. These are on and already over my first weekend sailing. During the day, during a bright day, all the solar panels combined are capable of driving the whole boat, which is fantastic. So it's a little bit messy in the cockpit at the moment because we're kind of mid-work, but there have been some changes in here. Not a massive amount because we're quite happy with the way it is. But most importantly, you can see there's a keel control here. So that we used to have just one keel controller up in the middle of the boat here. And we've now got 2, one on each side. And that's because trimming the keel, so the keel cants, it moves from side to side. Trimming the keel is quite important to maintaining boat speed. So when the boat's going really fast, I can sit in my chair on the side and I've got a keel control right by me, and I can trim the keel to keep the boat moving quickly. The other thing that we've done in here is just kind of all the standard replacement of running rigging. So Will constantly is going through our running rigging, checking for wear and tear, and so we've replaced some of our constrictors here. We've got some new jib sheets, and we've replaced a couple of the control lines on that side. So again, excuse the mess down here, it's a work in progress. There's been a lot of boat building going on down below. To start with, we had to do quite a lot of structural modifications to the boat. We were finding that when the boat was slamming aggressively, some of the bigger panels, so you see we've got the grids on the floor here, and some of the bigger panels forward were flexing, and that was just starting to break some of the kind of older bonding, because we need to remember this boat's 8 years old. So some of the ribs were just starting to flex, and so in the larger panels we've put patches over all of the ribs. Now in reality that was a fiddly job because there were multiple areas to do, so it's not a huge amount of structure we've put in, just a lot of work, and that took a good 5 weeks to finish all of that boat build. And so around the boat you'll see all of these black patches where we've put additional structure onto the boat. And then the biggest difference from a functional point of view is we've taken out the water ballast. So here, this area here that I'm sitting in, this all used to be a water ballast tank, and I used the lateral water ballast to provide righting moment when I was going upwind or reaching. So we would fill this tank up with water, it would pull the boat more upright, which would mean I could carry more sail area for longer. The foils themselves provide righting moment, and so we've discovered now from sailing in the boat for a year with big foils that actually the water ballast was not working for us in the same way. So we made the decision to take it out, which has given me this amazing area here, which I'm quite excited about because this could be a great area for sleeping in. And we have put new scoops in because we still have water ballast. It's now just in the back of the boat to keep the bow out of the water when we're going downwind. And these new scoops now are very visible, and you can see the scoop here going down through the hull, and then the pipes to take the water from the scoop to the back of the boat. So we haven't just made changes during this refit. This was the final opportunity for us to thoroughly look at every single working, moving part of the boat, take it apart, put it back together again, ensure it's in the best condition possible for the Vendée. So that means kind of all of the keel hydraulics have been apart, they've been back to France, they've been serviced, the keel has come off, we've had new keel bearings put in. Every part of the electronics has been checked for corrosion. We've mapped out all of the system. We've cloned the computer so that I've got exactly the same PC I can plug in if that one breaks. The amount of work is absolutely insane. And to be honest, you know, there's always more that you could do, but we're time bound. The team have worked so hard in the last 7 weeks to take this all apart and put it back together. And having been out now for 3 days, everything's working really well. So now we're into a fine-tuning phase before the start of the Vendée.